let me tell you something. There's a lot of events around the South Coast, but this one, the largest annual Oktoberfest happening this week by one of the best groups on the South Coast, and nobody better to talk about the SCBA, South Coast Business Association, than Nick Francis, who's in our studio right now. And good morning. Is that a glass of Schlitz you have in front of you?
Good morning. I wish. For a Monday, that'd be perfect.
For breakfast?
Yes, absolutely.
They serve beer in high school cafeterias in Europe. Why not for breakfast too? Nick, wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Before we get into this great event, I know that there are, how many businesses, 20 or so in the group, or?
We have 18 members right 18. Now, so yeah.
And the mission of the group is to?
We like to, we've been around for 10 years now, so we, are all local entrepreneurs and business owners in the South Coast, and we started with the idea of grooming future business leaders around the South Coast, and as well as networking amongst each other, and turned it into an organization that wanted to also contribute into the place where we live and work, and turned it into a nonprofit that also contributes directly to at-risk youth organizations or creates programming directly with the funding that we raise throughout the year.
Which is one of the most wonderful, noble reasons to support this great event, folks. This group does so much good, especially for our children. We'll go over some of the great programs also, aside from the ones that you just mentioned, Nick. But first, you were a visionary when it came to the SCBA, right? And also with your own creative business. Tell folks what you do.
So I own an agency local here in New Bedford, and also have a Boston office, and we produce large corporate events, conferences, trade shows. We produce corporate marketing videos, television commercials, websites, mobile apps, all that good stuff.
Folks, they're known nationally, internationally actually, for your excellence. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And that has been in operation for?
Also for 10 years. Yep, 10 years this past January.
Good for you, the founder of Franchise Studios.
It's actually the franchise group now.
Now it's the franchise group. Whoa! I love it.
I'm moving up in the world.
I love it. You have been very passionate about being a visionary. You call yourself a chief visionary officer. I love that.
That's right.
Instead of a CEO or a CFO, you are a chief visionary officer. Oh. Use that vision now and tap into our passions to influence some folks listening right now to attend this Oktoberfest.
So this year we have our largest beer pouring going on. We have over 35 beers that are going to be there. We also have sangria, cider, and gluten-free beer for those who don't partake in or can't, drink all the other beers that we have. We have some great food represented there by the Fancheesical food truck, which is out at Buzzards Bay Brewery every Friday and Saturday. They're from Providence. We also have No Problemo, one of my favorites that's downtown, and they've been with us for, I think, all 10 years. And then we also have Coolix Concessions, which is Richie Gomes. He operates out of the South End.
Sure.
Mar Raffas, also in the South End, another great slinging pies all night long. And then I think that's rounding it out actually is the Ox Cart, which is Oxford Creamery's little food truck. Yep.
You bet. This is the 10th year. The venue is where?
So it's downtown on the waterfront at the ferry terminal.
Okay.
Big blue warehouse right at the bottom of Union Street.
Can't miss it.
Yep.
Over the years, Oktoberfest has accomplished some major goals. Is it true that you've raised over $500,000?
Yeah, we're going to hit $500,000 this year, I believe.
That's incredible,
yeah.
Nick. That is
years,
amazing for a group 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it?
So the first year we started out just in Custom House Square. I believe we piggybacked the wine festival, Wales Wine Festival that year. And we raised just over $3,000, and we saw an opportunity to really grow it. So we went down to Fort Taber in year 2, and from there it's just been growing year after year. We bring in some great local talent from the area. This year we're bringing in Chad Stokes, which is a national touring. He's been a national touring act for several years with groups like State Radio and Dispatch. He's the front man for those bands. I believe just 2 years ago he sold out with State Radio. He sold out Xfinity, the Comcast Center.
Sure.
Used to be Great Woods. I know it is Great Woods. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
what
do too.
everybody.
I do too. It's Great Woods, yeah.
So he's headlining this year, which is another reason to come out and should draw a nice crowd. But yeah, we've just been able to really grow. We have a lot of really great members. We take exception with, trying to bring in members that will contribute and really help build the brand. And we think we've done that, as we can show by the successes that we've had.
You bet. Folks, we need to support this Oktoberfest. All the great, incredible works that you've done. With 35 brews at the Oktoberfest, you have done at least that many different programs in terms of helping children from the Y to, well, give us a sense of what you've done in giving back to the community.
Sure. So this is also part of the reason why I joined the group early on. One of our founders, Jay Lanigan, had come up to me and had been, asking me to join for a couple weeks, and I was sort of on the fence. And he said, we're not just a group that signs checks, and raises money. We also get in there and do the work, and that, sounded like it was more meaningful and gave us a chance to actually meet the people that we were directly affecting with our work. And the first project I was involved in was at the New Bedford Boys and Girls Club. They had a bowling alley that was in the basement, not being used for several years. So we actually got in there, raised money with one of the first couple Oktoberfests to buy a boxing gym and buy a boxing ring, and some heavy bags and some speed bags. And then we got down in the basement, all the guys on the weekends over 6 weeks. And we ripped out the bowling alley in the basement. We painted the walls, we redid the floors, we hung the heavy bags, and then we built the boxing ring. And now we just went back this past year, and that gym's full 7 days a week, which is great.
All because of people willing to put a little elbow grease behind the need to improve community. Did you know when you were a kid that you'd end up doing community service like this?
I'd always volunteered at school to do different after-school programs. Early on, my parents were always involved in the community. I didn't necessarily know that I would just carry that on, but certainly enjoy it now, and I'm happy to be a part of as many projects as I can.
This Oktoberfest is hosted by the South Coast Business Alliance folks, a non-profit group that raises funds throughout the year to benefit programs on the South Coast that truly enrich the lives of our youth, most especially at-risk youth. Tell us a little bit about that angle of what you do.
Sure. So a couple of the projects that we had started early on, we're working at the Zeitarian. We started a program called Front and Center, and we didn't want to just be able to send kids there that might have the opportunity to go. So we arranged, with several of the schools to put together some kids that, wouldn't normally be exposed to the arts. And we sent them in stretch limousines and gave them a 5-star red carpet treatment, and showed up, and they got to experience a couple of shows throughout the year. We did that for a few years.
Yeah.
And we just, really saw, the impact something like that would have, and started to carry it over and just make that our vision to really impact, at-risk youth programming throughout the South Coast. One of the biggest donations we made was we've donated over $15,000 to the Children's Advocacy Center of Bristol County, which helps abused and battered children throughout the Bristol County. So that's been another one that we've worked with quite often, and we're happy to help them out as much as we can. And
folks, now is your turn to help continue this kind of generosity to our underprivileged children, at-risk children in this area through the South Coast Business Alliance and their fabulous signature event, the Oktoberfest. And once again, the location, Nick, is?
It's the New Bedford Ferry Terminal down on the State Pier.
The time?
Is 3 to 11:45 this Saturday.
This Saturday, rain or shine?
Rain or shine. It's looking like rain every day this week. What's up with that?
A couple storms.
Let me see what I can do about it.
Yeah, a little rain dance later in the studio might help us out.
I want to also talk about another program that I'm near and dear to, and that is the Star Kids program. This is a program whereby, children whose parents or a parent is incarcerated and always or usually because of drug addiction, the child's life is in somewhat turmoil because of the parent's situation. Star Kids, ladies and gentlemen, places these children usually in private schools, Catholic schools, so that at least their education can have a firm foundation. Your alliance has aligned itself with Star Kids, right, Nick?
Correct, yes, so we actually sponsored a child who I believe is in 3rd or 4th grade now, and every year we've been, re-upping the ante, and the student is doing really well in school, and we're in communication with his mother, and his grades are good, and he's doing a nice job, so it makes it a no-brainer for us.
And this is why it should be a no-brainer to attend the Oktoberfest, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us, is there a charge or the minutiae, as they say?
Sure, so it's $20 in advance,
Okay.
and that gets you in the door.
Yeah.
There's $25 at the door, but we encourage people to purchase tickets online. We have a website, it's scballiance.org. You can buy tickets there. Tickets are also for sale at Rose Alley Ale House and Mirasol's Cafe in Dartmouth. Both great sponsors of our event. And it's rain or shine because we are inside the ferry terminal, and we do have a huge 120 by 40 foot tent for just the music outside this year.
Awesome.
So shouldn't really worry about the weather too much.
It's going to be a fabulous event, folks. And by the way, all the children who either go to the Boys and Girls Club, or in this case the YMCA after school, folks, it's, people like Nick Francis and all the members of the South Coast Business Alliance that have just donated $2,500 for the after-school program there.
Correct, yeah.
So congratulations for what you're doing in our community. The unsung heroes, Nick.
Thank you.
I mean it. Finally, junior achievement. You work with the kids there and inspiring their futures.
Yes, so we just worked with Caroline Paradis, who's the executive director over at Junior Achievement.
You bet.
And
Know her well.
Yep, that was one of our most recent donations. As was, actually, I should mention, we started a scholarship at UMass Dartmouth this past year as well, and that's our latest program that we've created.
Tell me about the scholarship program there. It's at UMass. Is it through the high school or what?
So it's for a student going to UMass or BCC. It's called the South Coast Business Alliance UMass Dartmouth Scholarship Fund, and it's for a student graduating from a Fall River or New Bedford school that shows financial need.
So folks, if you would like to help support at-risk youth and educational-based charities along the South Coast here, it's the SCBA that you should embrace and, of course, go to the 10th Annual New Bedford Oktoberfest. Love this. Nick, what didn't I ask you that you'd like to include?
I think we covered everything. I should point out, though, this year we have an ATM this year, which is hopefully going to help encourage people to be on site and not worry about having to run down the street. And if you're looking if you can't find the ferry terminal, we also have a sky tracker that, the movie premiere lights that go back and forth.
I
So
love it.
As the sun sets this year, just look for the sky tracker and you can find us.
And you know what? You're going to have 35 regional brews, right?
Yep.
Those are going to be delicious.
Absolutely.
Sangria and lots of entertainment.
So we have Rebecca Correa and Craig DeMello are
Oh,
teaming up this
great.
year for opening up for Chad Stokes, and then the Poor Men are opening up for Rebecca and Craig.
Awesome,
Yep.
just awesome. And what about steins? You sometimes have steins available, yes?
Yes. So if you're lucky enough to be one of the first 200 people to purchase, we have 200 1-liter steins, which to refill is the same cost as a regular beer. So you get quite a bargain there. And then we also do beer sampler carts. So it's 5-ounce pours for $10, and the first 600 will get a signature mini stein to go with that.
I want to thank all of the members, all. And I want to thank Deb for helping me set this
Yes,
up.
thank you, Deb. That's
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. And thank you for thinking about creating such a very important organization in our area, Nick.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time to have us on too.
All righty. Nick Francis, Chief Visionary Officer, CVO, Creative Director and Founder of a franchise group now, right?
You got it.
Nice. The former president of the SCBA and currently chairs the committee for the New Bedford Oktoberfest. So let's get passionate about a group that is passionate here in New Bedford. Nick, thanks very much and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
You betcha. We'll be right back, folks, so don't go away. We have a lot more coming up.